Hello everyone. So in this video we'll be working on the follow button, which is when you go to a user's profile that is not yours. Like now Jerry will go to Harry's profile, he has the option to follow him. So we'll be working on this follow button. Okay, so let's start. And this is the button here, follow. So we'll put click event. Let's do click.pre-event. And when the button is clicked, the method will be triggered, follow user. And then okay, we'll trigger a method called follow user. We have an argument, the user.id. So let's create a method. And to have the ID. So what we do to make an Axios call to the backend, post. Follow user and send the ID. This dots. Okay, so this dots. This ID over here, this one. Then we'll log the response out. So let's create this in web.php, follow user. And we'll create a new controller for this. Call it follow controller. Follow user. Look for a method called follow user. So let's create this controller. Okay, so let's create the follow controller. Alright. Okay, let's do it. PHP that's some make follow controller. Okay, we've created the controller, so let's create this follow user method in it. Take okay, so before we continue, I would like us to make the model and the migration, the follow model and the migration. So we'll do it like this. Make model with the migration. Okay, so let's edit the migration. We'll add 2 more fields. Then integer. So this field will be the follower ID, that's the person that is following. You should be the logged in user. and this should be the followed. That is the person that you are following. Alright, so that's it. Okay, let's go to the model and add some code. Yeah, which means you must assign all the fields. So next thing will be to migrate. Alright, so let's migrate. So you can see we've migrated. Let's check the database. So you can see we have the follows table now. You can see the fields that were created for us. So that's fine. So in the follow controller, what we'll do is we'll import that model now. First field is follower ID, and this will be the logged in user. Sorry. And the next field is person we are following, which is the followed ID, and this will be passed from the front end. Alright, and return a JSON. So that's it. Create it and return a JSON. So let's okay, I added these two lines here as I imported the follow model and this facade auth, so that we'll be able to use this. So let's test that out. So we are meant to get a response when we follow the user. So let's see. So we have a response here with that row. So let's check the database. So you can see follower ID 2, which is Jerry, is following ID 1, which is Harry. So that's good. Alright, so let's go on. So the way I want to do it is that when you visit a user's profile, if you have followed that user, you won't have the option to follow him again. The button will change to unfollow, which means you can follow a user only once. So if you followed him, the button will be unfollow. So let's do that. First, we have to check if the user has followed, if you've followed this user. So let's do that. Let's check. So we create a method called check followed. Let's do that now. It will be an Axios dot. Make a call to the backend. Find out if you follow this user. It doesn't have a payload, but it needs the ID of this user, which you can get from this dot. launch.id. So then we'll log the response out. So let's create this in check followed in web.php. Check. Now we use the follow controller. Create a method called check followed. So let's create this method now in the follow controller. Alright, check followed. You have the ID as an argument. So the way we do this is instead of first account, alright, where the follower ID is the logged in user. And this other way, followed ID. Alright, then we return it. So alright, so let's see what the response is from the front end. So I haven't followed Barry, so let's see. You can see the count is 0 for Barry because I haven't followed him. But when we go to, well, I followed Harry. You can see the count is 1 for Harry because I followed Harry. So let's continue. Okay, so after the response, we'll do this dot check if. We'll create this now. We'll create this. Alright, so let's create this variable. And when the page loads, we'll do a check. If so let me close this so you're able to see. See, if this is less than 1, you should render this, else else the button should change to unfollow. Method also, instead of success, use warning. So let's create unfollow user so that it won't crash. So this is it. If followed is less than 1, it will show the follow button. If not, it will show the unfollow button. Right, so that's it. So let's test it out. So user Jerry, I followed Harry, so let's go to his profile. So I followed him, so you can see the button has changed to unfollow. Okay, I haven't followed Barry, so let's see. See, still follow. So that's good. Okay, so let's create this unfollow user method. We've already started it, so what this will do to make access call to the backend. Let's call it unfollow user into the ID. Then let's log out the response. Okay, so let's create this in the web.php file. And is get and we'll create a method called unfollow user. So let's do that in the follow controller. And the ID. Okay, so here's how we'll do it. You can borrow from here. That should be first, and after it gets that, we want it to delete it. Alright, so let's test it out. Okay, so that's it. Let's test it out, the unfollow user. So when we unfollow, we'll get a response. Okay, a response or message unfollowed. Let's check the DB. Okay, there's nothing in the database, which means it was deleted. So fine. So let's test this follow again. So when you follow a user, let's check the database. Okay, follow ID 2, followed ID 1, so that's good. So let's try to unfollow this user again. You can see the button has changed. Unfollow. So let's check it. So you can see it has been deleted. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Okay, to make the button change from follow to unfollow by itself, this is how we'll do it. We'll do this dot check if followed. We increment it. No, as when we unfollow we decrement it, but when we follow we increment it. Sorry. So that's it. So when you follow a user, the button changes by itself without reloading the page. So let's test that. Okay, so let's test that in action. Let's see if it works. When you follow user, the button should change on its own. So let's go to Barry's profile, follow him. So you can see the button has changed to unfollow. When I unfollow him, it changes back. So that's good. So I think that's all for the follow button. And the reason we are doing it is that when we implement the share button, a user will be able to see the videos shared by someone who he is following. So if he's not following a user, he won't be able to see the videos shared by that user. So when we implement the shared button, you'll see why we are doing this follow. So that should be in the next video. So thank you very much for watching.